welcome back to my YouTube channel, and it's been really long since I've done a video. So I had been very unwell, because of which I couldn't film for 3 months, because not only me, my family had also not been well, and I did not get that time and energy to do a video. I'm very sorry for you guys, and those who have been patiently waiting for a video, I'm sorry, but I'm back, and this time I'll be showing you one look which is absolutely monsoon and rain proof. So let us start with the makeup look, and I am very squeaky clean on my face. There's not at all of makeup, but we will start with it. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start with a moisturizer because my skin is feeling really dry after cleaning it. So I'm gonna use the Lakme's Peach Milk Soft Creme Moisturizer. I really love this moisturizer, because this moisturizer works wonders under the makeup, and it's very reasonable as well. There are few pimples, zits, textures on my skin. You can see on the light it's accentuating as well, which really shows I have really been unwell. I couldn't take care of my skin as well. I did try to film a video while I was unwell, and yeah, it gave me mentally a boost. So yeah, I mean, let's see how dry my skin is. It's absolutely absorbing it within no time. Next, I'm going to use the Pond's Super Light Gel. Now this one acts as a primer base because it has dimethicone, and it is wonderful for oily skin. I do not have oily skin, especially now today, but I'm going to use this one to give a texture of a primer before I use an actual primer. Okay you guys, so let's move forward with it. I'm really getting bothered by this texture of my skin now. It's under a lot of light. So after we are done with this moisturization and hydration, we will be needing one primer. So I'll be using this Swiss Beauty's primer. This is the Pearl Primer Pores Zero. So I'm gonna use it. You generally know me, I do not use primer, but this one works really good, especially if you're doing a makeup that requires matteness. I do not use this too much, just onto my problematic areas. So basically I'm using it on my T-zone. So this is the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Hours Full Coverage Foundation. I'm gonna take one pump of it. If you have seen me recently, I am kind of avoiding a bit of full coverage foundation. That's because I really like that skin-like finish onto my skin. I mean, a good full coverage foundation is sometimes needed, like this one. I'm using a full coverage foundation, not because it is very harsh or it is full coverage, but because this formula is actually, it is very much waterproof. So I'm going to take a little bit more, and as I'm putting this all around my face, I'm putting it onto my neck as well, onto my chest. Yeah, now let's go for a little bit of a concealer, and for foundation I used this kabuki brush, kind of a brush. It's not so much dense, but it does the job really well, and I really like that precision that it's not really that dense. For concealer, I'll be using a bit of an angular tapered small brush, and for concealer I'll be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C9.5. The foundation was in the shade 128 Warm Nude, and this one is in the shade C9.5. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm gonna blend this into my skin. It really blends really well, especially it gives really good precision. You can see how easily that blended with this brush. Now I am going to use a bit of a contour, and for contour you know that I love this one. This is the Wet n Wild Megaglo contouring palette. I'm gonna go with a more of an angular brush. One works really good. Go with the contouring powder and just do a little bit of contouring up till where my eyebrow ends. Now you can do this technique or any technique that works for your face. I generally use this technique since I have this fair face, and it gives a more of a natural finish onto my skin. Now after we have done this, I'm going to take the powder from that same powder palette, and with the help of a more dome brush, I'm gonna powder my face as well as on top of my contouring. And then with a brush like this, a more penciled but dome again, I'm gonna set the concealer in the place with the same powder. So for the blush, I'm gonna go in with this Love Flush palette from Mars, and I love this palette. I'm gonna go in with a more peach tone shade. This one will look good. How Deep Is Your Love. For highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Makeup Revolution XO palette. I'm gonna use a more gold shade highlight, just a little bit into my nose as well. Now to make everything look that it has been blended, seamlessly mixed, because now it does not, I'm going to take that same beauty blender and tap everything into my skin. Let's get on to with the eyes. So for eyebrows, I'll do nothing. I'll probably just spoolie them up. I've not done my brows, because if you have done your brows, this will look really good. But I have not, and I want to keep it really simple. And for my eye look, I'm gonna use a base. That is the Makeup Revolution's Conceal and Define base for my eyelid. And with that same brush, I'm gonna buff that product onto my eyelids. Let's get on to the eyes. I'll be using the Huda Beauty's Rose Gold Remastered palette. The same palette, same shades, and I will be using Cocoa, and I will put that onto my crease. And for the lids, I'll be mixing Moon Dust and Bubbly along with Lest, and put it onto my eyelids. With a more pencil brush, I'm gonna take that same brown shade and use it under my eyes. For eyes, I'll be using two waterproof products. One is the Lakme's Iconic Line Pen. So I'll be doing a really soft kind of a wing. I've used a waterproof eyeliner pen to make it more long lasting. Before we head on to mascara, let us put on some kajal. I'll be using the Lakme's Self Iconic Kajal, and I'll be using it on my upper lash line and my lower waterline. Next, I'm gonna curl my lashes. And I'll be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's a waterproof mascara, so I'll be using it onto my lashes. To be very honest, I use a more waterproof mascara rather than a false lash, because false lash, you can use it, but I do not trust the glue, because it might be very difficult to handle for you. The glue, then the lash, then if it's huge, then you have to maintain the lash. So I instead opt for a more waterproof mascara, a waterproof eyeliner, kajal, so that this does not move even if there is a lot of rain. The reason I use a beauty blender on to my face to buff every feature into my skin, because I want my skin to look more natural when water hits onto my face. So this is the reason. So let's go for the lips. For the lips I'll be using a lip liner. This is from Swiss Beauty, so I'll be using it to line my lips. Blue Heaven's Elegance matte lip color in the shade 01. It's a bright as true red color and it is matte. Alright you guys, so this is the completed look, and if you're loving how this is looking, then don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It helps my channel a lot, and I'll meet you guys in the next video. Till then, bye guys.